everyone! So this is me from the future. So today I'm gonna go over my Makeup Mekka products and give you a review slash first impressions, because from my last Makeup Mekka haul I bought quite a lot of stuff. So most of it I'm now trying for the first time. I thought it would be fun to share like my opinion on stuff, my feedback and my first impression. At least I'm gonna go over all the makeup with you and using it, and together we're gonna create this look. It's really blushy, but I felt like I wanted some colors and pink and purple. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and let's go back to the past. Yeah. So let's go back to the past. Okay, so this is my bare face. No makeup, I just moisturized and am good to go. I see that one of the products that I got was this little lip scrub. I did moisturize my lips, but I'm just gonna start by testing this anyways. It does feel like it has quite big like sugar bits in it, and I don't know if I like that because I really feel them and they feel quite rough on my lips if I'm not doing this really gently. It smells great though. I don't know if I'll use this that much. Okay, so I don't have enough Makeup Mekka makeup to do my entire face. So for concealer, and if I use something else that's not from their line, I'm just gonna tell you and I'll use it anyways. And I just brought this like ginormous mirror because I don't think a lot of their makeup has mirrors, so if this gets in the way, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna start by using my concealer. This is the Revolution Super Size Conceal and Define. I don't know if I have that much to conceal now, but I'm gonna use the shade C1 on pimples and spots in my face, and I'm gonna use the shade C0.5 at like my highlighting spots and for the base for my eyeshadow. So that's the lightest shade. Ooh. I'm too much klutz to like film really serious videos, so I don't know how serious this gets. That's fine. I think that's fine. I now just realized that I forgot to wetten these sponges, so I'm just fastly gonna go and do that, looking like a clown, but that's fine. Okay, so I don't know if you saw this jar before I went and wetted them, but I did have 2 more sponges in here because I forgot to remove my old ones, and I think everyone got twice the size. Okay, so as I commented in my previous video, I still think this is too small. I don't know where you're supposed to use this, but I feel like it's so inefficient, so I'm just gonna move on. I think maybe this is for like a cream contour, and I don't really have that. Yeah, this is definitely not good for like just blending. I feel like this is a tiny bit too big for the eye area, but for the rest, working nicely. Okay, so my opinion on these sponges. Honestly, I think I took a bit too much water in them and didn't squeeze them well enough. But this one I did not find good to blend out concealer. Maybe this is meant for contouring, but it was not to my taste, and I think it's a bit too dense for my liking. This is basically just the egg shape, but it doesn't fit in my eye area, so this is fine, but I'd prefer the egg. This is basically the egg with a flat side, and for me, I still don't know where you're supposed to use a big flat side. I think the egg bounces prettier off the face. I think the foundation looks prettier. That might just be my opinion. So this is definitely a winner. I'm gonna continue using this. I really liked it, and I actually think this little one might be good if you're concealing like one pimple or a small spot, because it doesn't smear out the product on a bigger area. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna continue using these 2. This one surprised me, but I'm happy. Not from my most recent haul, but I bought this like Makeup Mekka loose powder foundation previous. Doing this in my bed might not be the best idea. Powder foundation can come everywhere. On my queen sheets, I changed them yesterday. So I'm just gonna use this Makeup Mekka brush. I don't know if it has a specific name, it just says Makeup Mekka on it. I'm pretty generous on taking powder on the brush, and I'm just like tapping off some. Okay, so the powder foundation, good. I'll use this for maybe a year. I switched between this one and my Bare Minerals one, and I honestly like them pretty much the same, and this is so much cheaper. So if you just want to try a powder foundation, I would definitely try out this brand if you can get a hold of it. For this brush, it was really soft and it blended out the powder so nicely. I actually think I prefer this to my regular powder foundation brush. It's just a really fluffy, soft brush. And yeah, it was so smooth to just go over my face with, and it went really fast. And I can see like spots where my skin look weird, and I think it laid the powder really nicely. I'm definitely really pleased with this one. Moving on to the rest of my face, I don't have Makeup Mekka products, so I'm just gonna use a sleek old palette face contour kit, Light 884. So I'm just gonna use the bronze from this one, and I'm gonna use the Makeup Revolution London Opulence blush and highlights. So taking the flat Makeup Mekka brush, I guess this is actually more for foundation, but I prefer a fluffy brush, so I'm just gonna have to find another place to use this one. Ooh, that's a harsh strike. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I didn't tap it off well enough. So I'm just gonna place it some places. Okay, this is probably a good actually foundation brush if you want a thicker layer. For my bronzer, I need to blend some. Okay, actually this brush for bronzer, I quite liked it. I think it lays pretty nicely and it blended out really fine. And my nose, because this has really pointy angles, I felt like I could actually control the fineness and define my nose with it. It might be a bit time consuming to use such a big brush instead of just a small one, but it worked out really nicely. Since I didn't bring a blush brush, I'm just gonna use the one that I used for foundation. I think actually that will lay down pretty nicely. It's quite heavy, but I like that. Also, I felt like this made it easier to just like soften it out, so I think I prefer this to my normal blush brush too, so I don't know where this will have to take over, because I feel like I can't use this for both, then my foundation might become really pink. I'm just also gonna use the highlight from this one, and I'm just gonna use the smaller version. To look a little bit less crazy, I'm just gonna do my brows. Until now, I actually used the Makeup Mekka like pomade, but since I bought this recently, I'm gonna use the Brows on Fleek stick pencil. It has like the brow stick at one side and fluffer at the other side, so I'm just gonna test this. Makeup definitely doesn't need to be perfect, it just should be fun, I think. It might just be my technique, but so far I feel like it looks quite patchy, and it was definitely not easier than just using my pomade, and I definitely didn't spare any time. But I can see that this can be a bit more convenient because you only need to bring one thing instead of a pomade, a applier, and a fluffer. Next, I'm gonna do my eyeshadow, and I got this for Christmas from a friend. It's the Back to Bold, so it has a lot of fun colors. I don't really know what I want to do. Maybe some purple. I think purple is one of my favorite colors. I think I'm gonna at least use the purple color Slay. This will be a really colorful look. You can see, I don't know if you see, it's this really harsh purple pigment. They do have a lot of pigment. They don't stay as bold and dark as in the palette, but I think you might be able to build it up if you want to. I'm just gonna use a old brush for my underline because all of these brushes are too fluffy and big. I think I'm gonna just take this smaller brush that's also quite dense to soften it a tiny bit without getting it everywhere. I'm just taking more of the pink for the inner part. These two shades blended really well too. I don't want to dirty another of those brushes, so I'm just taking a clean one and going in with some of the maybe yellow. Ooh, they created a quite nice like orangey tone in the middle, so they do blend quite nicely. I'm just going in with the last brush that I have from Makeup Mekka and just like soften up the edge a tiny bit, and then I'm just gonna blend the colors a bit better together. Okay, so just from another palette, I'm just gonna take a highlighter and use it in my crease. And I'm just gonna use the same pencil or brush that I use at my nose. Okay, so that's the eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna go over with an eyeliner. This is also a Makeup Mekka one, but it's quite old. It's just a liquid liner. Wow, I'm really bad at liner, so holding a mirror whilst doing the liner, I'm in trouble. It's not totally even, but I'll just let it be. I think a Q-tip now will maybe just smear smear the makeup more out. So I think I'll just stick with the a bit uneven eyeliners. I think it's fine. I'm gonna go in with the candy liner from Makeup Mekka. This is also new. This is the first time I'm using this too. Okay, so this has not dried down yet, but it definitely looked a bit lumpy. Like, you know how white can become a bit see-through in some places. So if it was a tiny bit thicker at some place, it just looked a bit lumpy there. So I had to go over and smoothen it a bit out with the pencil back and forth some. So that was a bit annoying. But also I've never really used a liquid liner underneath my eyes before, so it might be me being bad, but I think if it was really high quality, it wouldn't lump easily. I feel like where this hit my lashes are starting to harden, so we'll see if that ruins my mascara a bit, but we'll try. I'm just gonna curl it. This curler is a tiny bit broken, so I need to get a new one, but this will have to do for now. Wow. Okay, the mascara is a really tight opening, so it doesn't let there be much lumpiness on this one. I feel like that can be a good thing if you have really long lashes, but I don't, so I like it to be a bit lumpy so they get long and full. Okay, so we can say that I'm done now, but we can also go in with more blush and do fake freckles. So I think I want to do that. So for the fake freckles, I'm just gonna use my trusty old brow pomade from Makeup Mekka, and I'm just taking an old brush that's just like really pointy and thin. I'm quite soaking it, just like, I don't know, going all in that pomade. And I'm just gonna do some small freckles. I'm just going over with the blush brush and just smoothing out a tiny bit, also just to make it look a tiny bit more natural. Okay, so this is the first time I'm trying the freckle look. I don't know what I think, so tell me your opinion in the comments. But at least I'm just gonna go over all of the Makeup Mekka products with you. So firstly, this brush set, I absolutely adore it. I kind of wish I had two of this biggest fluffy one because I feel it works perfectly with every powder. I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to maybe buying more of their brushes. I do have quite a lot now, but the quality for the price point, really nice. As I said, I like this if you prefer to draw on your brows. This is a really good and cheap alternative. I think I prefer my pomade still, so I'm gonna stay with that mostly. This icing liner, it did make my bottom lashes really hard, so since I use mascara over, it was a bit more tricky to get the mascara on without it just sticking together or being too crisp, so I needed to fluff that up a tiny bit. But if you don't use mascara on your bottom lashes, you might have to wash this off from your lashes, and I can imagine that being a real pain. This liner, old, good, I really like it. It stays well, it dries really fast, so if you or I don't know if I can swear, if you mess up, you might have to take off some of your makeup with removing this, so that can be a pain, but it's really nice so it doesn't spread places you don't want it, so I like it, but you have to be fast. This pomade is a bit of the opposite problem. I really like it. It's really easy to work with, but it doesn't really dry down. It doesn't really smudge everywhere, but in a day this might just wear off and be lighter and disappear a tiny bit, so I like it, but it could be better at staying. This palette, I'm surprisingly pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised because these colors are really bright. You can build them if you want them to be extreme. For the purple, I dipped it 3 times, and I dip really softly. So yeah, I really like this, and the colors blended really nice with each other, so they are probably formulated to blend well, and I appreciate that. So I will definitely use this if I want a more colorful looks. The lip scrub, I got this for free. Would I have purchased it myself? No. This loose foundation powder I really love. I feel like this is quite similar to the texture and feel of the Bare Minerals, but for me this is less metallic-y, so I think I prefer this actually. So yeah, this is a really good one. If you're just gonna buy one of these products, I would buy the brushes, but this might be my second choice. These sponges, I love this big one. If you buy a pack like me and you get a good price for it, it's definitely worth it. But I think I'm mostly just gonna use this big egg and maybe the small egg. I know you can buy these separately, so if I were to buy again, I would probably just buy this big egg, but I'm happy with all of them. And for the last product from Makeup Mekka, that's the mascara. I feel like this, it wasn't so easy to get the lashes long, but it was really easy to get them thick. So I don't know what you prefer in a mascara. I really like that it is cruelty-free. It hasn't become a new favorite, but I will maybe consider changing to this just because it's cruelty-free. So yeah, I think that's everything. I can give you a close-up of the look if you want to. So if you liked this video, remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye! Okay. See? Teeth are fine. Okay. I always do this before starting, but it's fine. Okay.